Well, I guess I'm the only one right now because I'm the only one showing up. Well, we'll give it a couple minutes. Nobody shows, that's fine. That doesn't make me happy, but that's life. Nothing to cry about. I'll sit here and enjoy my cigarette for a little bit. Apparently somebody else is streaming. This is Friday night, so let me check. Find out what's going on here. Which is all good. You can really spell it. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. Give it a couple more minutes here. Like I may just go ahead and start the video, and people show up during the video, I'll stop it. Really cool. I don't want to say it by myself. Here comes somebody. It's all right. It's a Friday night. Probably one of the better chilly nights, I guess. Can't expect a winner every night now, can I? Oh, well. Hello, second person, whoever you may be. Hello. I'm going to give it some time, let everybody jump around, see what's going on. But I will start the video. I will still show the video, even if it's just me by myself watching it. That reminds me, too. I'll be right back. Ding Dong Me forgot to do something. That's okay. We'll fix that right now. There we go. Much better. Sorry about the start screen. I look like I froze. It's funny how the lag is. But I'm still going to show the video. Even if it's just one person. Depending on how long they stay, whoever it may be, I'm sure I'll find out. It's been a weird week for everybody. I had to miss Wednesday night. I had personal business, so not much I could do about that. First, family comes first, especially blood family. I had to take care of it. And I was so pooped. Oh, there we go. Perfect. What was the one I was going to do? It didn't land on the one I wanted to do. Are you serious? Wow. How'd that get changed? Interesting. There we go. Oh, don't start this crap. It's going to do it anyways. I hope somebody comes in. Am I being boycotted? Did I do something wrong? Not that I really care. Okay, let's see what's happening here. That good. I'm just going to get the video ready until somebody shows up. So who's ever watching, if anybody's watching? Apparently two of us, so I know I'm one of them. Enjoying the suffering? Nah, I'm not suffering. I'm good. I'll just get things ready. Like I said, I'm still going to show the video. It's another Fae video. Actually, it's I have to talk to Gemma because I can't find one video that goes with the one I showed a couple weeks ago because I'm trying to show all the Fae stuff. And I couldn't find a second one, but I stumbled on the other one. Been trying to do this before the streams, but then I lose a place. There we go. Let me get this prepped. Oh, stop. Okay, that's ready to go. Well, whoever the second person is, I'm glad you're hanging out with me, watching me. It's just waiting for everybody to show up. I usually give it a little time. There's a third person, so that's now 3 of us. Hello, third person. We're good. I've looked kind of rough the last couple of days. I've just been busy trying to get stuff done. Pop into doctor appointments and me trying to take care of some family stuff. So, but Wednesday was a bummer, but I needed it. There was a busy day. It's been a busy week, but that night was particularly important because I take care of family matters. I had no choice, and I enjoyed it. It turned out to be a good thing. Let's hope everything goes as planned for the person, for my family member. Okay, I think I'm ready. I hope you two are doing good and having a good night. The darkness coming and going off the string, and it's me flipping through screens trying to make sure I have everything, checking everything. I'm pretty picky. I tried it. I'm still learning a lot of stuff. I'd like to start implicating graphics and stuff like that. Well, now we're up to 3 extra people because I know I'm one of those people because I'm in Facebook too. I'm in Facebook. I'm in YouTube too. Hey, Cindy, how you doing? I got your memes. Love them. The boys. Wait till I show the one with Dad. The ending of those are perfect with him. No, that was a good touch. When I show him, we're going to get loud. He chuckles. He's not to see him smile and chuckle is good. Every so often I hear him out there laughing at the wrestlers or yelling. The Andre the Giant one was a good touch, putting him in there by Godzilla. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, all about the boys. Yeah, I totally loved it. I don't know if she's seen it yet. She's at Mom's. They've been traveling all night, so I hope she's cuddled up safely and sleeping and resting. They're going to finish doing the rest for Mom. And oh, I'm totally enjoying them, hon. I totally appreciate it. Now, remember, the first 5 people now, well, 4, because like I said, I'm one of them. And Gemma streaming tomorrow night, same Gemma channel, same Gemma time, 7:15 or 7. She's been trying to start a little early, so we'll see how things go. But yeah, I am totally enjoying them. I know she is too. And little man thinks he's such a boss now. I'm famous. I don't know. Did you see the reaction video? I was trying to be all cool. I don't think he liked her taping it, filming it. I thought that was kind of cute. Back down to 3. Oh, well. Life's a sucking soil eddy filled with small moments of false hopes that are never black in years. But the night must go on. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I figured you did. And yes, I think, I'm not sure, that was one of the nights I played with him. He was all happy because I think it was one of the nights that I did play with him either before or after, probably before. And we had won 3 games of Fortnite. He was so excited. We did it the first time I think it was the first time I actually got to play with him We won 3 games right off rip. And then we hadn't won any for a while because he wants to play and stuff. And that's all right. And then the other night we won 3 in a row. It was great. He was so excited. He was, I thought I was going to have a brain tumor. Yeah, I said Penn, but I don't know if she saw it. You are from Pennsylvania, right? You're in Pennsylvania, right? And by the way, did you have a safe trip? I'll let you answer. I'm sure you're typing. Such a lag, this whole thing. It's amazing watching between YouTube and StreamYard, the lag. Chat moves slow and StreamYard moves fast in YouTube. And then the video is I'm on time in StreamYard, but lagging in YouTube. Just doesn't make sense. Yeah, I figured you're from Pennsylvania. PA, whatever they want to call it. I say Penn. Yeah, I was gonna tell him you were from another planet, but I wasn't gonna be mean. And then I thought about telling him, oh, and she lives with Bigfoot. I thought he'd get a kick out of that. But no, I didn't say that. I just told him Penn. I thought I'd be nice. So she'll keep giving me brain tumors. I was laughing hard at the ones with Dad. I gotta get you a better picture than that goofy ass picture of me is just too silly. I should have never known. I should have never posted that. Too bad you didn't have the ones I posted originally where I showed what I looked like when I woke up and my hair was everywhere. As long as it's Venus, not Mars, okay. I got you. Yeah, isn't that what it is? Men from Mars, women from Venus. Whatever that song goes. I'm not even going to attempt it. I am tired, though. I'm not going to lie. It's been a long week. But I'm in good spirits. Like I said, it's just 3 of us. Usually I have 4 or 5 people. I've watched a couple people come in. Nobody give any like. I got my theories on that, but I'm going to keep that to myself right now. Not that I'm worried about it. I'm not that important to this channel. I just try to fill in some space for her. She's the most important part of this channel. You got a few different photos of me. I got some good ones. Actually, I think I have a good one on Facebook that I'll post for you if you want it. I don't take a great picture. I don't take a whole lot of pictures. I have my reasons. I've said a couple times why I don't like doing selfies and stuff. Good question. Very good question. Now I know there's possible people streaming tonight, but that is a good question. Like I said, I had my theories, but I'll keep it to myself right now. I'm not too worried about it. I'm in too good of a mood to care. I'm tired, but I'm in a good mood. Yeah, I haven't seen Edna for a while. Well, I did stream Wednesday, which I think hurt a lot of people, but there was not much I can do about it. I posted in Facebook that I was streaming tonight. So, yeah, usually I have at least 6 or 7 people in here. I'm not too worried about it. Actually, there's Edna. How you doing, sweetie? I just said your name. You were watching, weren't you? Anyways, she was in one of the Oracle chats. She came in. She didn't stay very long. She said she was okay. I think she even got a reading. I'm not sure. But since then, I haven't heard a word from her. Hello, Barry Brownie. How you doing? So I got dry skin. But yeah, from what other than that, I don't know how she's doing. No, but you got here. Yeah, I just asked. She asked where everybody was at. I said, And I'm sorry I missed out on Wednesday, but I had family stuff I had to take care of. But as far as I know, other than she said she was okay, I haven't heard from her. Maybe she'll stop in tonight. Who knows? I hope you are well, Edna, since I didn't get to talk to you Wednesday. Or Tuesday. I wouldn't. Gemma was rambling pretty good Tuesday. I did get to talk, though, which was pretty good. I give her when she's in stream, I let her do her thing. I'm sure people love her more than they love me. So I'm good with that. That's what these streams are for my fans. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. I'm glad you guys showed up. I just felt bad about Wednesday, but man, I had to take care of my daughter. We're trying to get her home. She tried to go back to Kansas, and I was all excited because we got her car fixed. We got her car fixed and running. I didn't get it. We got her car going, and I'm tired. I'm tired of complaining. That's why I complain, but I don't complain. Sometimes I just complain just to get it out of my system. And I try to keep it simple, as you guess. But it doesn't really do no good. But we wanted to get her back home. She tried to go home to Kansas twice, and the car broke down both times. Second time in the middle of the night, and out in the middle of nowhere in Indiana, I believe. And they got her home. State Highway Patrol was just great with her. And tried to send her home again, got her car fixed, got her running. She went to leave, had to turn around and come home because she was getting out of Ohio. She finds out that half of Kansas is flooded around the base, and it would take her another 6 hours to go around it. And it was like, I can't keep these kids in the car that long. So she had to come back home. So we're trying to figure out how to get her home because it is all flooded around the base. Really bad, too. So we're trying to figure out what's going on there. So that's what I've been busy with, that and other people. But she's good. She's here. She's happy. Today was her birthday. So, Ashley, happy birthday. I didn't get to call her because she was busy. I knew she was out celebrating. I'll call her tomorrow and check on her. She's back here waiting to go home again. So hopefully we get her home. But it's her birthday today, where it was Friday, since it's not really officially Friday anymore. She's my oldest. So, Ashley, if you get to see this, happy birthday if you're watching. Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, she's kind of like my mom. I want to remember my mom. I just go talk to Ashley. She's a lot like my mom. Which is scary. Excuse me. And again, excuse me. Usually I close off my mic, but yeah, other than that, that's the way the week's been. I mean, she's been safe, thank God. But yeah, I've just been busy trying to take care of that and other things. Yeah, well, at least she's safe. I just want to get home. The kids are going stir crazy. Those poor kids just want to go home, go to their own rooms, get back to school. But a couple of the reports she got is the flooding's so bad around the base and where she lives that it could be almost mid-February before they can get back. That's how high the water is. We'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully it won't take that long. But yeah, that's messed up. Poor kid. All she wants to do is go back home. But she's safe, and that's all that matters right now. And she's being taken care of. And the kids are stir crazy and want to go home, but they're safe. And I don't blame them. Life is crazy, man. Got to go with the flow as much as you can. And when you need to yell, just close the closet door. Or go find a field somewhere and let it all out. Keep them home with you. I would love to, but with my dad and 3 kids running around this house, could be interesting. Happy belated. Yeah, you're not off by much. I mean, only by 21 minutes. I mean, officially it ended at midnight, but Thank you, Edna. I'll make sure I'll make her watch the beginning of this so she can see this. If she's not sneaking a peek. I don't know if she's logged in or anything. That's the thing. If you're not logged in, it doesn't show. Now, I think your view shows, but I don't think anything else shows. She can't, type and chat or anything. I would love to have her here. And this place is not that big. So that's the problem. She can't stay with Tina, my ex, because she's got the middle one living with her and her 3 kids. So her house is full. So they've been staying in a hotel and off and on with friends of hers. So everybody's been worked out. I would love to have them here. If they get stuck here for a little longer, I may have them come over. Excuse me. Problem is the kids. They get, kids get bored easy. Then I could run them through the cemetery and scare the bejeebies out of them. We had rain. Joe, take your time, Cindy Lee. Go get your phone call. We had rain all day, washed away a lot of the snow. Rained all day, mostly here yesterday. It was like 70. We've been averaging, last couple of days we were hitting like 50, 51. Today it stayed in the mid 40s. It's killing me. Yeah. Well, you're in an El Nino. So the weather's going to be really weird. And plus everything else that's going on, it's going to get weird. And people are so busy watching on everything that's going on, like visually, but they're not paying attention to Mother Nature and the sky. Not seeing the real signs. But yeah, I mean, it was like 47 here today. I think our high was 47. And then we stay about there. And then we're supposed to get some kind of snow Sunday. But I don't think we'll get really anything. We'll probably get mostly rain. Maybe a little freezing rain. And then it's supposed to warm back up again and kind of level off. And we'll see what happens. February's going to be interesting. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure too. She lives out in New Mexico, so I'm sure she's feeling the strange weather they're having out there because they're having some pretty strange weather out there too. And she lives where it snows, so I think she lives up in the mountains. If I get her right, if she stops in, we'll ask her. But yeah. Oh, yeah, she definitely does feel it. I know my dad does. Really bad. If you have rheumatoid arthritis, you're definitely going to feel it. I know when it rains, yeah, my knees get real bad. My neck, I have so much metal in my neck. Anywhere you have metal, you're going to feel it too. My dad's had his share of back problems too. I mean, half his back is, we call them the erector sets. They use erector set parts on you. And I'm sticking with the Fae. I'm kind of bummed. Gemma did 2 parts, and I did 2 parts. I did 2 of them already. Then the other one with real encounters with the Fae was a part 1. But I can't find part 2. So we're going to do fairies and aliens tonight. I'm trying to stick with the Fae stuff right now. And I'm still doing. Now we can't say. We're noticing people here on YouTube are noticing if you say a certain R word, it seems to mess with your algorithm. So I'm going to call it the R word, but I do want to do this because I do want to promote it, get more people on it. I know some people are already subscribed, but here's this again. I'll post it a couple times. This is the actual channel you want to go to. I gave one earlier that actually said Gemma Jade, but this is the better channel because you get to see all, it's got the headers on it and everything. And that's right here. Here we go. Ooh, I saw a post tonight of a picture. Did you get back on Facebook, Edna? Or are you talking about YouTube? Because if you get on Facebook again, I know you were talking about it. Let me know so we can friend you. I saw a post tonight of a picture with a little person standing next to a little girl, about knee high. Pretty cool. Really? YouTube. Okay. I'll have to go look for it. See if I can find it. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to show it, but if it's just a picture, I might be able to. But I've seen some pretty good pictures lately too. Problem is, I want to collect them, make sure they're all good, and I can show them. I'm not getting into trouble. I'm not getting her demonetized. No copyright strike. But there's a bunch of new stuff floating around. Told you the veil's lifting. It's going to get weird. And people who don't believe are going to start seeing things they don't understand. They don't want to understand. But it may make them start waking up. Yeah, I watched this one. Sorry. I think I got bit by a spider the other night when I was cleaning. I was waiting for phone calls. And driving me a little nuts. But I watched this one guy does cams. They anything camera related. A lot of them are trail cams. There's a lot of wild footage out there that people are just not seeing. Then I watched this one lady, The Darkest Secret. Lorne. Well, I'll get her name. Great channel. A lot of her stuff is out of South America and Mexico. Some wild stuff. And some of her stuff is amazing. And some of it's got Fae stuff in it. And I'm like, holy crap. You know, tropical jungles and all that stuff. Most will be terrified. Yes, most will. And it says, the strongest of men will weep like a child. And it's going to happen. I don't think people think, let me put it this way. Some people don't think parts of the Bible, they think it's more symbolic, but they don't understand that it's literal in a lot of places. And put some peroxide on it, Ghost. Yeah, I did. I cleaned it real good. It's right on my shoulder where I can just reach it. So I cleaned it really good. I never thought about the Vicks. I do have, I did put some inch cream on it. It's a gel I like. I get poison ivy really easy now. I used to be able to roll into stuff and not get any. Now I get near it and it's like, boom. Maybe I got paid back for all the times that when I was a groundskeeper, we used to bet each other cases of beer on who can roll into poison ivy and get it first. And I never got it. So I always got lucky and got beer, even though I never really drank a lot of it. I always just drank it with them and they drank most of it. I see people being terrified and getting their guns. So that's the problem. You know, it's not guns. Guns don't kill people. I have to be careful what I say because boom booms don't do it. People do. I have to be careful what I say on YouTube. And yeah, people panic. It's just a matter of being smart. Unfortunately, there's people out there that don't react without thinking. It's a shame, but it happens. It's not that I worry about. It's the people without them that I worry about. Those are the ones that do crazy stuff. But yeah, I figured, when's this called again? I think it's called Phase. Fairies and Aliens. Sure. Yeah, the Fae and Extraterrestrials. Is there a connection? Part 1. I couldn't believe I couldn't find part 2 for Real Encounters with the Fae, so I'm going to have to go back and redo. I went to that library like 4 or 5 times. And I just couldn't find it. I thought she did one. She did it. It says part 1. Yeah, I'm kind of getting away from that topic, Edna, because YouTube's been cracking down. We're in election year now. Things are going to get tight. Things are going to get crazy. And they're openly admitting now that they want censorship. So I'm trying to do this and get her over onto the other R word there. And I think I got to talk to Gemma about, it's just going to itch. I'm always an itchy person anyways. I'm so sensitive. Should I take it down? No, you're fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it. You're good. I'm just saying if I openly talk about it, they go through chat, but they don't go through chat like they do with what I'm saying. So you're fine. Don't worry about it. Believe me, there's a lot worse going on, and some of the things that are said in like Salty Crackers streams and some other streams I've seen, that's nothing. So don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. But ow, that one's really getting to me. I'll have to put some more medicine on it later. Yeah, you just gotta be careful because it's gonna get tense. I need to have her help me fix something up for the R word for streaming. And if it works, if I can get it, I got to film like a 120 second like video, kind of like when you see the countdown for Rumble, for here, kind of like that for Rumble. You got to have it before you stream. So I want to fix something up that's kind of versatile with everything we do, so we don't have to do a new one every time. And do 2, one for like me and her streaming there, and then one for like just everyday streams. Once I get that done, I will do a test stream on Rumble. I'm going to say the word now, Rumble. That'll probably be the only time. I actually have some good stuff here. I'll just put it on at the end of the night before I go to bed. The more itches, yeah, I know. I'll eventually just stop and ignore it after a while. Of course, it didn't have to be bugging me until I got on stream. So, but yeah, I'm hoping to do that real soon. But I got to get with her once she gets some things taken care of and get back from visiting with mom and taking care of stuff. I'm gonna do that. I want to get streamed up over there. We talked about doing like a live Oracle stream, like during the day on Oracle. I meant for Oracle, like one day during the week, and see how it does. I want to see what kind of troll life is on that. That's why I'm going to stream first, test stream, see what kind of trolls I get. A lot of people say that people are pretty good. From all the streams I've checked out, everybody seems to be in pretty decent, and everybody pretty much monitors each other, unless you're on the more radical streams. They do have a couple of those. But even then, are pretty well, hey, you're getting too crazy. I'm averaging about 3 or 4 people. I don't want to shut down early tonight, but I am going to show the video no matter what. I'm showing the video. And then we'll go from there after that, I guess. I'm trying to go to at least 12:30. It's 12:35. I was trying to let a couple more people come in. So I don't know what's going on. I have some ideas about why there's so few people left. Well, it didn't help streaming Wednesday night. But what can I do? I have family business to take care of. Plus, I was there for, I also am there Thursday nights for Pixie in the background, just kind of make sure everything goes good for her and help her with the stream. So that was my way of letting everybody know I was okay. Now you see, that last comment of yours, Edna, about if you keep scratching, it's just going to itch more. It's right there in front of my face. So now I keep reading it and I keep wanting to scratch. Yeah, I have my theories on that. And like I said at the beginning, I don't know if you heard that. I'm not too worried about it. I'm too good in a mood, but it will be addressed. I just don't make a big deal thing about things. Like we just said earlier, complaining about it don't do no good. But I have my theories, and it's all good. There's Raymond. I figured you were lurking somewhere. Hello, Raymond. How you doing, sir? I hope you're having a heck of a night. We're getting ready to start the video pretty soon. Like I said, I'm going to show it no matter what. Yeah, on Wednesday night seemed to be my big nights, but since I wasn't there last Wednesday, so that's the thing. I can't. I, I try to keep a regiment, but sometimes things come up. For a while, I thought I was going to have to take her back to Kansas, and that would have been a whole different ball game, which would have been fine with me. I would have done it in no time. Yeah, Cindy's here. She's just on the phone. Yeah, I'll start the video here real soon. Wait, let me cough here. I ate a little too much too today. We had Italian. Well, they had Italian. I had a open faced pizza sub. Really wasn't in the mood to eat. So I'm making homemade beef stew tomorrow night. So for tomorrow, everybody's tired. I think it's the weather. I'm not sure where you're from, Raymond. I'm sure you told me. I don't try to make certain things. I don't file certain things for reasons. It's kind of like not my business. When the video runs, go put Deva. Well, I'll probably just smear my poison ivy stuff on there. It was helping for a while. Like I said, it didn't bother me until I got on stream. Yeah, she's here somewhere. She's just on the phone. Too funny. But yeah, I have some theories. Yeah, because it's not like me to not use at least have 8 people, 9 people. Usually, right before I start the video, I have about 10 people. Kind of drops a little bit during the video. Then it picks up either toward the end of the video or in the middle of the video. And then it will last, and then it dies back down again. Then everybody seems to start. Oh, you're from Arkansas. Okay, I thought you were here in the States. And then everybody pops back in about 1:30, 2 o'clock, just to keep me on longer, which is fine. Because I know there's a lot of people out there streaming that I don't even know about. Arkansas. That's a cool place. So it's cloudy. You're in the United States. Most of the state, right? Most of this country is covered in clouds. There's very few open spots right now. I've been watching the radars. So it's just because of the El Nino. El Ninos are typically pretty cloudy. You have a constant war between hot and cold, more than usual. The south seems to stay a little cooler and the north seems to stay a little warmer. It's weird. Plus, we have a whole bunch of sunspots going off. We had a whole bunch of sunspots facing us, and they're all flickering away all week, popping off. So we got to keep an eye on the sun too. One good X flare is bigger than that. Could get interesting. And the sun is real active right now too. But I'm going to go ahead and start this video if everybody's cool with that. Outside Batesville. Oh, really? My her grandfather was from Arkansas, I believe. I don't know where. Razorbacks, right? Because he always talk about the Razorbacks. So, here I go, Ed. Now you got me going now. No, I will. I'll probably, when I start the video, I'll reach over and put some on. I was doing good until I started. It looks awful. It's bad. But yeah, let's start this sucker. Maybe I'll read my lucky charm. She actually looks good in this video too. So, sun flares, I heard, can set off nuclear weapons. They really, there's a lot of controversy about that statement. Just think of an EMP. A solar flare, the right type of solar flare, would cause an EMP effect. Basically, send us back to the Stone Age. That's why they tell people to make Faraday boxes. So if you have a Faraday box, you always want to keep at least a bunch of batteries and stuff like that in it. Radio, anything small electronics, unless you have a big one. I know a guy down in South Ohio that his whole shed is literally a Faraday box. And he keeps his generators and all that stuff in it. I'm in the sticks. It's like 268. Oh wow! See, that's the type of town I wouldn't mind living in. It might get kind of boring, but we're gonna start this baby and get this rocking. That way we can get talking afterwards if everybody's around. Let's do this. Okay. There she is. Okay. Let's go full screen. Share. I'm sure the sound would be good. Let me know if you guys can hear this when I start it. Okay. Go down here. I'm going to go down to the bottom. Actually, I like I'm better off in the bottom. And she looks good. She's wearing one of the necklaces I got her there. Okay, dokies. Let's do this.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, just welcome.
You guys can hear that all right?
But today I was thinking about writing about the missing in the Fae again, a whole new video. I had already started the script, but then I was thinking about a question that keeps coming up. So before I start repeating myself, let me just get to the script. I really think you guys are going to like this one. As many of you probably know by now, I have written a book on the Fae and the missing people around the world. When I say the missing people, of course, I mean the ones who are disappearing under incredibly strange circumstances in the literal blink of an eye while hiking, hunting, camping, berry picking, or any and all other activities there are to be done in the national parks of this country and the woodland areas of the world in general. This started with some scripts I wrote for some videos on the channel I write for, Missing Persons and Mysteries. I write most of their content, but for some reason, this particular subject seems to fascinate people. I decided to move the videos over to my channel as well, and as far as I know, my book sold pretty well too, I hope, at least for an unknown author and the first ever title I put out. There will be links in the description box to the videos I wrote for the other channel and also for my book. The Fae are something I've become somewhat of an expert on due to my great interest in them from a very, very early age. I've had several real-life experiences with them, which both terrified and fascinated me. I know you all have been waiting for a new Missing in the Fae video, and this is kind of one. Missing in the Fae 4, all new, brand new, is coming, but I had to do this one first, guys. I always start these videos by reminding everyone that the Fae or fairies are definitely not and nowhere even near being the beautiful little Disneyfied entities we all grew up with. Shrek would definitely kidnap and eat you. Tinkerbell would buzz around your head while you're thousands of feet up a mountain and make you so irritated you cut your rope, and so on. I mean, use your imagination. I talk about so many different aspects of the Fae and of the missing, not just in the other videos, but also in my book, and I've yet to even scratch the surface. Today, I want to present you all with some more information that I'm pretty sure I haven't put in any of my other Missing in the Fae videos yet, either on here or on the Missing Persons and Mysteries channel. I also wanted to try to bring you all some information and details I haven't yet put in my book either. Brand new information, if you will. If there is information repeated, I do sincerely apologize. It's just that the scope of my research is so vast and the amount of information I have on the Fae is so very massive that I'm bound to repeat myself by accident every once in a while. Fairies are often known to live underground, and a lot of the time I'm asked to explain that because I also present information that they live in alternate dimensions from us, only accessible through portals. There are so many different types and species, and they all live differently, just like the human race, when it comes to the fact that it's pretty much a fact, at least to me, that there are other human beings exactly like us who live in alternate dimensions or realities that are only accessible through portals, right? Fae, human, there's a lot of connection there, in my humble opinion. To add to that effect, depending on where you are in the world is depending on how you'll find the human beings there living. Some Fae are known to live very deep underground in extremely dark places as far as sunlight. Remember, they work differently than us, and as far as their systems, many don't need sunlight in order to survive as we humans do. In fact, I would go so far as to say to you that even if they did need sunlight, let's remember what we've already learned from this series and understand that the Fae don't only practice magic, but the Fae are magic. It's in the very essence of their beings. So they can make sunlight or just give themselves the same nutrients or whatever the sun gives them that they need through just using their magic. This is most likely how they're able to survive in these caves and caverns. They have whole worlds down there in the deepest, darkest depths of the earth, towns and cities, countries, and maybe even states. That's just me kind of trying to put it all into as human term as possible. The Fae are ancient no matter what their race, and they rely heavily on their ancient magic to make a world that stays devoid of sickness, disease, and even in most cases, death. I've also recently come across some information that confirms what I've always believed, and that's that they have a sort of fascination with human reproduction. This can go off on many different tangents of information, but let's start with the changelings. The Fae literally used to steal our human newborn babies right from their cribs, and the closer to birth they were, the better for the Fae, and the more likely it was that the infant would be kidnapped by them. As far as the changelings go, I used to think that the Fae replaced a human newborn with a sick and possibly dying newborn of their own. But recently, I've come across some information and I've given more thought to this, and I think I've discovered that they actually would replace our human with sometimes with a very old and possibly dying fairy. Death is not very commonly known to them, and they do live way, way, way centuries and centuries longer than us, but death does come. Most of them are not immortal, despite popular opinion and belief. I know their magic keeps them almost immortal, but not fully. The Fae can die, and I know there hasn't been much evidence of corpses ever. In fact, I've only found one semi-credible report of anyone coming across anything that could even be considered to be a Fae skeleton, and you can find more on that in my book. I don't want to be repetitive, like I said. The kidnappers would also sometimes leave wood-carved effigies in the shape of a baby. I know you're probably wondering how the Fae could think this would trick anyone, and in fact only lent to the suspicion by the people back then and back in the day that it was in fact the fairies who were responsible for the abduction, because that would make sense. You go to sleep and there's a newborn, and you wake up and there's a stone effigy or a wooden one. Apparently, though, the effigy was charmed somehow by the Fae magic and would somehow have the parents thinking they were in fact caring for their infant, and everyone who they came across would think the same somehow, and nobody would ever notice they were caring for a block of wood or chunk of stone. As wood does, though, these blocks would start to crumble and degrade, and then the magic would be released, and the horrified parents would be left to explain to an oftentimes close-knit, nosy, and very suspicious community what happened to their newborn baby or their baby. The children were almost never returned either, and this led to a lot of women being killed as witches or imprisoned because there was no rational or reasonable explanation as to where their infant or child, who seemed, because of the charm, to be there 1 minute and gone the next. So even if this effigy lasted for months or even years, eventually it did degrade, decay, erode, and crumble. And that's when the charm would be released, and the parents would be like, what is this? And everyone who had been coming to visit and everyone who had seen this baby in the town or in the community wouldn't know that they'd be like, yeah, right, we saw that. You know what I mean? Like, it just wouldn't make sense. And that's what the Fae depended upon. It stands to reason that because of inbreeding and the almost maniacal desire to keep the blood, quote unquote, pure, more often than not, the Fae couldn't reproduce on their own or carry to term if they did get pregnant. Worse still, in some opinions, was that when they would carry to term, the infant would be deformed in some way and or on the verge of death. This is where the leaving of the changeling infant comes in. So they all decided to take a page from the elves' book and strengthen their bloodlines with new and fresh blood. Our blood, human blood. See, the elves already do a lot of kidnapping and or seducing, mainly of men, to ensure they only have problems like what I just mentioned every 100 years or so. But again, there's more on this in my book. I'm trying to present new evidence here and I'm leading up to a point. So just try and stay with me, because if you've been with me for a while, you know I tend to ramble, especially on subjects I am very passionate about, and the Fae I am most passionate about. The baby, which was then transported to wherever its newfound Fae family lived, would grow up thinking they were Fae, and no matter what the parents' standing in the community was or how wealthy they were or weren't, would end up marrying into Fae nobility. A human child was worth more than all the money and even magic in the land, and was always married to a prince or king or noble of some kind. The child, who would have most likely had the hard life of a peasant, was, some could say, and the fairies would justify, done a great service by being kidnapped, as they were automatically royalty or wed into it, and therefore had a much easier and happier life. At least that's how the Fae would see it. If you look at Celtic Fae lore that dates back centuries, many centuries, even back to like the most ancient of times, you'll find the tales of men who would be out in the woods hunting and gathering or roaming about for one reason or another, as men did back in the old days, right? And suddenly a beautiful woman would come out of nowhere in the darkened woods and seduce him. He would have never known how powerless he was to stop this from happening, and even the most honorable and committed and honest man would not even be able to think the word no once this female had chosen him. You see, many times this was a female fairy of nobility, and more often than not, a fairy queen looking to blend stronger blood into her family's stock, and her Fae husband was usually none the wiser. The more desperate ones would agree to send the fairy woman in, but not like they would have had a lot of choice. I mean, the Fae have always lived in a matriarchal society, which is why there are hardly ever any wars and not much death, but let's not get off track. Matriarchal society, again, not much war, not much death. The Seduction in the Woods. In 1886, F.S. Wilde, who is a noted historian on Celtic mythology and Fae culture, wrote, "The queen of the fairies is more beautiful than any woman on earth. Yet Finvarra, the king of the fairies, loves the mortal woman best, and wiles them down to his fairy palace by the subtle charm of the fairy music, for no one who has yet heard it can resist its power, and they are fated to belong to the fairies ever after. Their friends mourn for them as dead and with much lamentation, but in reality they are leading a joyous life down in the heart of the hill in the fairy palace with silver columns and the crystal walls." End of quote. Let's go now to missing time, because I've been asked a lot lately about the connection between the Fae and extraterrestrials, which is what this video was supposed to kind of be about, but it's all good. It's the missing in the Fae, right? I've been asked a lot lately about the connection between the Fae and extraterrestrials and whether or not I believe they're either related or one and the same. I have been given my answer to this in so many interviews in my book, so I'm going to present the information as non-biasedly as I possibly can and maybe give you my opinion at the end. I want to see what you guys come up with and what you guys think after this information is given to you. Whenever I'm speaking to someone who believes they have simply encountered a fairy, let alone someone who has been abducted, and even in my own experiences, there is always the subject of missing time. The fact that what seemed like mere minutes to the person turned out to be much, much longer. The time difference ranges from hours to days to years. Think, if you will, of the missing in the woods, the kids who turn up days, weeks, or months later or longer, who have no clue they've been gone even a whole night. Mysterious Universe cites these as classic examples, and I tend to agree. Quote, "A classic example of this is the 13th century story of one Thomas and Rymer, a bard of Berwickshire, Scotland. While strolling alone one night on the banks of the Leader Water, Thomas is confronted by the most beautiful woman he has ever encountered in his life, sitting atop a huge white horse. Her hair is golden, and her green cloak is adorned with priceless, sparkling jewels. She introduces herself as none other than the Queen of the Fairies. Thomas, practically hypnotized by her beauty, asks her for a kiss. The queen agrees, but demands that, in return, Thomas must travel with her to the fairy kingdom, where he will serve her, meaning have sex with her. He eagerly agrees. For Thomas, it seems that no more than 3 days have passed by when he is returned to our world. He is, however, terrified to find that no less than 7 years has elapsed. So smitten is he by the queen, who has given him the gift of prophecy. Thomas eventually returns to the fairy realm to live out the rest of his days, perhaps no longer able to relate to our world after seeing what lies beyond the veil." And I'm going to go into another quote, so I'll end quote there. But again, with the human beings that live now that have Fae blood, the women in particular, it's like when you hear of someone who really knows that they have it and you talk to them about the opposite sex, it's going to be a lot different than your average full human female. It really, really is. And it's something that pure humans, I guess, wouldn't be able to understand. It's all in the research. A similar story from the 19th century tells of two Welshmen, Llewellyn and Rice, who were walking to their homes late one night when they heard the sound of enchanting, hypnotic music. While Rice was entranced by it, Llewellyn was not. He knew it was the chilling calling card of the Fae, and that listening to the music for too long would lead one to fall under the spell of the little people. Rice refused to budge. Llewellyn fled. On the following day, Llewellyn tentatively returned to the scene and found, to his amazement and concern, Rice wildly dancing in what was termed, quote unquote, a fairy circle. Despite the passing of a day, Rice was sure he had only been dancing for mere minutes, end of quote. One last thing before I end this, and believe me, the discussion of whether aliens and Fae are one and the same or working together is one I'm researching vehemently for a second video about this, even as I type this one out, is the fact that both ET abductions and Fae abductions and encounters with either have a lot of the time small and diminutive creatures appearing out of nowhere, seeming to work magic to take a person against their will, almost always to some unknown place below ground or in the sky. I said I wasn't really going to give my opinion, but no. No, I don't think they're one and the same. And no, I don't think they're working in tandem, but I do believe that each are aware of the other. How do we know that extraterrestrials are not kidnapped or abducted by the Fae and vice versa? We don't. But if you want to know more reasons why I have the opinion I do, then stay tuned for part 2 of this series. Do I have your attention yet? I wanted this video to be a lot longer, but the research is so massive, and I've kind of been promising a new Missing in the Fae, and I've been talking a lot with people in interviews and just people hitting me up through email with their abduction experiences by Fae or extraterrestrial. And I'm noticing a trend that like a lot of it really is the same. But, you know, I believe fairies use magic and extraterrestrials use tech. And I just believe there are great differences. So with all that being said, guys, please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed spending this time with me, if you enjoyed hearing the information and hanging out. Spread the love by sharing this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Moon Bear Oracle should be launched the first or second week of February, depending on when you see this. It might already be there. Go on over and subscribe if you haven't already. That's once a month. Intuitive Oracle readings for each astrological sign, and down the road in like April, possibly May, I'm hoping April at the latest, it'll be once a month and once a week for each astrological sign. I'm having so much fun doing the videos for that channel, just trying to get it launched. It's really exciting. In the description box, you'll find a link to my book, Missing the Fae Theory, Kindle and paperback version on Amazon. If you want a signed copy, hit me up through email, GemmaJadeParanormal@gmail.com. Also, if you have any encounters with the supernatural and or extraterrestrial, paranormal, fairy, whatever it may be, any otherworldly encounters that you want me to make a part, listener encounters series. Forgot what it was called for a minute there. Just send it to that email. If you want a personal intuitive oracle reading, please email me at moonbearoracle@gmail.com. That's moonbearoracle, all one word. In the description box, you will also find links to my live stream on Wednesday nights where I pull one oracle card for each person who comes in. First come, first serve basis from 7:15 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. On Friday nights, you can find me on Paranormal Chop Shop with Jake Smith, Chad Smith, Sunny Bear, and anyone else who comes in. We have guests, we hang out, we talk about pretty much everything. It's so laid back.
I'm just figured I'd go ahead and let that one go because she doesn't do too much of that stuff anymore at the moment. Yeah, it is pretty cool. And when that happens, my ex, she's had a couple, not only in her yard, but in the neighbor's yard pop up over the last couple of years during the spring and also toward the end of the fall. I told her one day I was over there and one of the kids went to run in the middle of it, and I'm like, no, stop. And then I guess after I left, she had Eddie run it over with the lawnmower. I was like, okay. I don't know what you might have jinxed yourself or something, but they never had any problems. Yes, Mother Nature is very magical. And we're down to 4 people. Staying. Which is fine, probably okay. What I'll probably do is cut it short tonight then. No offense to anybody like Edna and whoever else may still be hanging out. I mean, I don't know how many other people might come in during, so I'll lag a little bit here. But I got to make it worth the time. I don't mess with them. Usually I wouldn't, but when there's all kinds of kids in the neighborhood, you don't want kids. I always told not to let the little ones stand in it, or nobody should really stand in the center of it. So I may here in a little bit. I'm just going to let it. I'm going to hang out a little bit because a lot of people remember. If you know, if you notice, I know a lot of times. I don't know if I'll make it till 2, but and I do have yours on underneath. But a lot of people come in much later, and that's also too because you get people from other places in the. See, because here it's midnight or 1 o'clock, but out west it's what 8 or 9 o'clock. So they're 3 hours behind. So what time is it now? 1 o'clock. So it's like 10 o'clock. Yeah, about 10 o'clock in other places. So I know some people are streaming at this time. A lot of people come in later. Yeah. See, that's what I was told ever since I was a kid. It was not to stand in them. Have you ever seen the movie Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, Edna? They remade it. The original is really good and really just as creepy as the remake. But the original always gave me the creep, and it's really hard to find now. But the remake's all over the place now. I mean, it's not like popular, but if you look for it, you can find it. Yeah, look for the movie. I think the girl, the lady in the movie is Tom Cruise's ex. I don't know her name, but it's basically kind of like about tooth fairies and stuff. But it's about the Fae and children, and it takes place. I'm trying to think of it in New England, up northeast somewhere. But it's a great movie. It doesn't get enough credits it should have got. But look up the movie here. See if I can find it for you. Oops. I can smell good. I smell good. See if I can find it here. See if I can find a poster. Right here. Here it is right here. Let me do this. Dun, 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 dun. That's the good thing about a stream. This is it right here. I can't do that. Oops. I don't do that. But that's the movie right there. Oh, okay. I found it. Yeah, it's right here. I got it on screen too. You ever get this? This is good, and I love the creatures that are depicted in it because they are Fae. It's a Fae story. It's good. It didn't get the recognition it should have gotten. It could have been a little better, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. The original is really creepy, but it is a remake. Is the original better? Yeah, from 1973. Yes, it is much better. They're both good. Don't get me wrong. They are both good. I enjoyed this version, but the original is so much creepier. So if you can find the original that you can watch them both. But you could probably find this real easy. It's worth a watch, especially if you are into the Fae, because the house they're in belonged to a guy who did nature paintings and stuff like that. Once you see the movie, you'll get the gist of it all. But yeah, I liked it, and it was like a good depiction of. They come off as kind of like tooth fairies, but there's much more to it than that. I liked it. It didn't get a great. She was Tom's ex, yeah. I can't think of a crew, whatever her name is. It says it on there. I didn't look. But the little girl's actually really good in it too. She kind of distraught. But the lead in, the house is gorgeous. I would love to have the house that this took place in. Melanie Cruz. Does that sound right? I took it off. But anyways, yeah. I totally enjoyed the movie. But see, if it's what I call popcorn movies, I love popcorn movies. Movie I don't have to think through, or it gets me going a little bit, it gets my mind going a little bit. But if I can enjoy it, I'm going to enjoy it. Because there's a lot of bad movies that I like too, that I enjoy just to watch for fun and giggles. I'm not real. I have my favorite Die Hard movies. I like those movies too, but movies that I really have a fondness for because they're good. So I hope everybody is good. Cindy must still on the phone. I don't know if Raymond's still here. I don't know. I may have to try something new with Gemma's replays because now I'm putting a lot of these onto the R word, and I'm hoping to get people to go over there. Shoot, knocked me off. Yeah, I know there's some people are. I had internet issues just before I started streaming, and there was nothing major, but there are problems going on out there. I don't know. But yeah, I have always had the fascination with the Fae. It was kind of funny because when I started talking to Gemma, I knew about them from stories of the family and stuff, and I knew tidbits here and there. And like I said, when I was little, I think that was one of the first things that I was seeing was Fae following little kids around on the playground and stuff. Though I was just seeing them in shadow form. And I'm pretty sure I saw them going through grade school. But when I met her, she kind of opened my eyes to a little bit more of what I was being told when I was younger by grandparents and great-grandparents. You want to know what they are? They've been around for a long time. They could be. I kind of go with the part of the Nephilim family. Everybody says Nephilim, they automatically think giants. There was so much more to the Nephilim. And what the Nephilim, you got to remember, the Nephilim created things too. So it wasn't just all the fallen angels, or however you want to look at that. So I think that the Fae are definitely a part of that, and possibly could be so much older. Let's see. When I started looking into it, I was shocked at how many people have seen and still do see these things. Oh yeah, there's still quite a few people that still see them. Like you were talking about that picture, like the picture you were talking about. You know how many people every day have their kids say, I have a new imaginary friend, or I have a new friend. My daughter's Ashley, her oldest, I lived with them her first 2 years. And when she was a baby, well, I actually lived with her a little longer than that. And I would see her sit in her bedroom talking to something all the time. And I would go in and I'd see a shadow that it would leave immediately. But she always said it was her pop-pop, which was her grandfather from her daddy. And he was a pretty good guy. Most logical mind convinced me myself that it was just childhood imagination. And you do when you kind of grow out of that. When I think when you're teen years, you're skeptical of everything and question everything so much that you really kind of put those things. No, I've always believed in these things because I was seeing them, not just those, not just Fae, but other things. So I've always been open to it. It's just when you're young, it's hard to talk to anybody about that stuff because you get, a lot of people didn't. People have been seeing Bigfoot for years. How many times a regular person seen Bigfoot and then they come back and try to tell everybody what they saw. Now, then today it might be a lot different because everybody talks about Bigfoot and everybody knows about Wendigos and skinwalkers and dogmen. Even though still a lot of mystery behind dogmen, though they say there's not, there is a lot of mystery still behind it. Every so often you hear about pig man and goat man. So, to come out talking about it now, you still get a little skepticism, but there's a lot more people that go, okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't know if I believe you, but they're listening. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the Fae. What cracks me up is you see a creepy picture of a creature or something. Everybody wants to assume two things. Oh, it's a dog. Well, three things. It's a dog man. Oh, it's a Bigfoot. Oh, it's a skinwalker. Well, not everything is those three things. That's like when you see a child ghost. Most people, even when that child ghost looks like a boy, oh, it's a girl. No, it's look at it. And who's to say it's actually a child ghost in the first place? They use children, more sinister things, use the image of a child to get to you because you're more likely to feel for that thing, a child. It's when I started seeing dead people, I know, freaked my parents out. Yeah, that tends to do it. Now, see, my problem wasn't as much seeing the dead or the past. It's the things like people just didn't understand. I think I'd probably get more understanding from people if I was saying, "Oh, I saw Uncle Harry." I go, what is that on that person's back, or why is that shadow always following that person? It's like when I incident with the Hat Man in grade school. I tried to talk to people. I tried to tell people. Nobody would listen. So I just shut up about it. Now I feel bad because things happen. And I'm worried about the lady I saw at the grocery store the other week. Because I hadn't seen the Hat Man forever. And all of a sudden, there he is in daylight. Well, both times have been in daylight. Give me the same creep. It was the same one. What the heck? Actually, I'm thinking about sitting there and drawing a picture about what I saw. I used to do it all the time, but I stopped doing it because I felt like I was giving it power. When you recognize and acknowledge something, you give it power. So I burn all of my pictures and a lot of my notes because I felt like I was giving these things power, holding them in existence. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand that? And at least that was my experience. Yeah. They tell you never talk like that. They tell you to never talk like that again. So you don't. I don't know if it was much. I never really heard that as much as because I rocked and barely slept. I heard, well, you don't rest. You don't sleep. You're just seeing things. I heard a lot of that. And it's true, rocked all night. And I was just as up all night as a child as I was now. So, in fact, more so. I mean, in my preteen and teen years, I know there were weeks that I probably only slept maybe 5 or 6 hours because I had to stay busy or I would go nuts. I noticed that when I do sleep now, my son's also noticing lately too over the last couple of years, that there are nights that I am laying still, but it's not very long. He says about a half hour to an hour where I actually don't move, and it scares him. But he says, you don't stay like that long before you kick right back up again. That's not that bad. I've lived with this so long. I'm not a poor thing, Edna. I'm just somebody who's learned to deal with my cards. And I always was told to deal with the cards you were dealt. And I do. And there's people out there in a lot worse shape than I'm in. I got to say that right now. I feel blessed compared to a lot of people who are really suffering. So, yeah. It's not so bad now. Like I said, I'm sleeping now. Like I said to somebody, was it Tuesday? When I talked to Mike or somebody, Thursday during Pixies, I told Mike that I think so far this week I had like 8 hours a week, maybe 9 now. Now, tonight I might get a couple good hours sleep, but tomorrow I seem to sleep my best after oracles. I'll pace around for an hour or two if I don't get into anything. I sleep. Now, that doesn't mean I don't sleep still, but I sleep. I mean, I still wake up with my bed out in the middle of the floor, but I sleep. It hurts to hear that you can't. It's not getting a good night's rest because you see what I'm like. I'm in good spirits most of the time. I have bad days, just like everybody. But you know, most part, what do you do? And like I said, I know there's people out there in a lot worse shape than I'm in. You know, so I'm not going to complain. I do sometimes, and I'm not really complaining now. It's just sometimes people, what goes on with me, I wouldn't call it rare. It is kind of rare to hear somebody openly talk about it because I know I'm one of the few that do, but I know I'm not alone. I've been in offices with other people just like me who's dealt with it just as long as I have. But I also know people that I used to know that are no longer with me in these rooms or in these doctor's offices because the body just couldn't take it anymore. Now, I don't know how many times I've come and gone out of that door. And no, it hadn't been like 7 or 8 minutes. It's, 2-3 minutes here. But to me, when you're on the other side of that door, sometimes it feels like you're gone for hours. Very rare goes for people talking. Yeah, because one of my neurological doctors set me up with a chat. Well, not with a chat group, but with a group meeting in his office where that people had sleep disorders and stuff. There was 15 of us, and I would say out of the 15, 4 talked about problems just like me that they dealt with ever since they were young. And their doctors also thought it was some type of a form of Tourette's, a more physical form of Tourette's. So, I know I'm not alone out there. I met a guy when I was in my early 30s and got to know him really well in this little group session. And he passed like 6 months after I met him. We got to know each other. And it was because his heart stopped. And they didn't get to him while he was asleep. His wife said she could hear him rocking. He slept in a recliner rocker. And she said you could hear him every night just rocking like crazy. She would go check on him. He'd be asleep. This time, all of a sudden, the chair stopped. And when she went out there, he was gone. And he had dealt with it just like me all of his life. She thinks his body just got tired. And I don't think, that's the fact I have to face. But I'm still here. I'm still kicking it. I ain't going nowhere yet, as far as I'm concerned. Unless the good Lord has other plans for me. You're on both planes at once. Sometimes I think I do. Now, I kind of agree with that. Because Patricia, my friend, I always say, I have to open. I told her one day, I'll have to learn to open my third eye. And she goes, you mean open it? It's been open for a while for you, Steve. Haven't you realized that? I'm kind of on that fence about the third eye thing, but she swears mine's open, and it's been open since I was young. Yeah. In fact, Patricia once says that she may have think that one of my past lives was a cat. And I said, I don't find that hard to believe, because all the dreams I ever have, that when they're in depth, because I remember my dreams, the majority of the dreams I have when I dream, even in that little bit of sleep I get, I'm in a bloody battle. And it's either with swords or somewhere in feudal Japan. The only reason I know it's that because I'm speaking Japanese, or in ancient lands. One time I can remember kind of seeing myself in a reflection of water, and I looked like I was dressed like a barbarian, which is weird. You just answered my question. Yes, I did. Yeah, so yeah, we had that conversation. I don't know if I believe her, but she seems to think that it is. So she goes, why do you think you see the things you see following people? I said, well, then wouldn't I see so much more? She goes, you probably do, but you're so focused on what you see for another reason. And that's because of she said that was because of divine intervention. I don't know. She gets really into it. She's diehard spiritualist. And it's funny when I'm with her and Thomas, who was a preacher, and we all grew up together. These conversations those two have, it can get intense, especially when I get in the middle of it. I think that's it. Your third eye, or whatever you want to call it, consistently opens. I do too. Because I see sometimes it's not always about what I see following people. I see other stuff. Now, I'm not like Gemma and Patricia, who do see spirits or see I call them the past. But I've seen those too. I can drive. I mean, we've proved it. But see, excuse me. Wait. Well, now you've heard of it for two people who don't even know each other. And that's true too. That's true. But yeah, Thomas, you got. See, this is what I like Patricia and Thomas. One's Thomas is a preacher and she's a spiritualist, and they don't agree on everything. Now, they can get interesting, but when I need help, the points of view from these two people, because I'm a Christian. I like to call myself biblical because Christian is such a big, broad word. And I like to say, all my knowledge, all my research over all the years always led me back to the Bible. So it's interesting when I need help or have questions, like the third eye thing. We've had that conversation a number of times. So it's highly possible. I kind of think it's opening. I don't think it always stays open. I think sometimes it does close, and I think that's my shield, maybe, when things get really bad. Because I'll tell you what, those months that things got really bad, it just like all of a sudden everything calmed down. It was like I was still seeing stuff, but it wasn't like I was seeing bad stuff. Now lately, ever since I saw the Hat Man again, things have kind of picked up again. So who knows? I will get my answers. Right now, I don't worry about those answers as much as I'm worried about why things pick up again. I kind of know that now, but maybe it's because the third eye is opened back up again. I just know that things are going to get weird, and I'm definitely seeing it. Now, when I'm with Gemma, I think we feed on each other's energy. Because when we were driving around, I was going, do you see that? And she would go, yeah. She goes, you see that? And I go, yeah. But when we were standing at the doctor's one day with her, I was seeing things that she weren't seeing, and she was seeing things that I wasn't seeing. You're like, oh, ooh, ooh. You wouldn't believe how many Bibles I have in the Old Text. It's all the same story. Man changed it, took stuff out, reworded things. Yes. That's why I won't buy a new Bible now. I will only buy older Bibles. Even some of the missing texts and stuff and scrolls. Enoch, I'm pretty dedicated to because it's been ciphered through so many people that it always seems to come out the same. But sometimes some of these translations that you get, you gotta kind of have to wonder about, because there are people hiding stuff on us. A lot of it. And a lot of it's the Vatican. They don't want you to know certain things. They want you to think there's aliens and not fallen angels. And I'm noticing that topic is coming up a lot more, about how people are starting to think that people like me, Christians and stuff, are starting to be a little more vocal that, hey, these may not be aliens. These may be the fallen angels. And they're starting to show the connection to it. And people are sort of kind of waking up to that. But you're going to always have it. You know, everybody always has their own beliefs, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, that's the thing. But somebody told me a long time ago, now maybe it's been Thomas, every time they try to change the Bible, something seems to happen to that company that tries to alter it. So who knows? But I know one thing, I'm pretty dedicated to the King James version. Though I've also read, you know, the Menorah and all that stuff too, because that's important stuff. Now, as for the Quran, people don't realize that the Quran was written 600 years after the Bible. And the consistency and stuff, it's just been changed and more suited to the religion. I'm not knocking it, just saying. I just got a copy of the first Bible, the stories that took to make the King James and Newer Bible. Yeah, I got one of those. It's a big family one. It's about as old as my family is. Right now, I got over my brother's. So I had to get it out when the house caught on fire. Luckily, it didn't get damaged. It's one of the big ones. I mean, you have to have a big pulp. It's huge, and it's very old. So we got it at my brother's right now. And then I got my mom's. I keep it in a bag for safety. So I got my mom's family Bible right here. It is super old. I use it for all my resource. The stories from the Bible were written 200 years after Jesus. So we use that. What we got, I guess. Yeah. Well, you got to remember, it's all compiled from all that knowledge, all those scrolls, and tried to put in order. I mean, think of when you're writing biblical or a documentary or a true story of any type. There's going to be changes made, not always on purpose, but because of lack of information. So you put the story the best you can. It's like when they say, you know, AI is never going to be perfect because it's programmed by a man. Or that's all. Yeah, that's true, because it won't be perfect because we programmed it. But when the AR starts fixing itself is when you start got to work. That's more or less the dark ages. You might find some of that. And even then, there was always people that were able to carry a written word. Yeah, and a lot of that was scribes, monks, Actually, some of the monks all through history always kept a written word. They were one of the few people that actually knew how to read and write, along with scribes. A lot of the holy men back all through history. So it wasn't just scribes. There was a lot more to it than that. Why some of the information has been obtained. Then it helps when you go and dig in caves and find vast amounts of scrolls all over the place. That helps. Because, they did back then read and write. Do you think they really know what's on the Emerald Tablets, Ghost? Did they decipher? I don't know. The Emerald Tablets to me are an interesting thing. I know that they were still trying to decipher a lot of it. Now, that was a while ago. They may have by now. And I'm sure if they haven't, they will. Because now we have the technology to go do that. So it's probably likely. As for with everything that's in it that will be told, probably not. We'll probably be given tidbits, just like we were with everything else. I mean, some of the stuff like the Book of Enoch and stuff, we got lucky and was published before things got to the point where the Vatican was really hiding stuff, which I considered probably the 50s and 60s. Now, a lot of people say, oh, Enoch's books, they did get something. Nah, it's been a while. So, yeah, it's all a matter of time. But I think once they do the Emerald Tablets, I think we're not going to be told everything that it says. I've always been fascinated with the Book of Enoch. That's one of my favorite books. Actually, there's a lot more to it than people realize. It kind of explains some of the things that possibly could be going on here. There's that same stories like Enoch's in the Sumerian text, and everybody goes, well, that's older than the Book of Enoch. Folks, once again, you're talking about carbon dating. I don't care what anybody says. It's been proved false. Even some of the new dating they're doing now has been proved flawed. So who's to say that what the Sumerians talk about ain't exactly the same thing you're seeing in the Book of Enoch and Ezekiel and Bible and Genesis? It's pretty much the same stories. So it's not telling you that the Sumerians were around at the same time. As is in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the Son of Man. I think that's happening right now. And I think they were way more advanced than they're letting us know. And that's why I say that all the time. Oh, yeah, they did. And it didn't help when you had terrorists doing it too. Why would anyone do? Well, why would they? It's called control. When you control the narrative of history and the narrative of the people around you, you control them. And what do they say? When you don't have knowledge, you have ignorance. And with ignorance, you have control. So there's evil everywhere. You cannot have good without evil, and evil without good. And that's your evil right there, hiding history and trying to change it or twist it. You'll find a lot of the history has been twisted. Not as much changed as it was twisted or disappeared altogether. Because, it's like I was reading one of the kids' history books, one of the grandkids' history book. It looked nothing like the history book I went to school with. A lot different. And then my dad looked at our history books when we were kids. He said they were pretty much the same, except for a few changes, this added stuff. It can't be controlled. Just stay that way. Because there's a lot of people right now being very controlled. When people say stay awake, stay awake. If you're not awake, you better wake up. Now, I can't tell everybody. Believe me, lately I've been that kid that wanted to be a preacher before I was told I had a different path. There have been many times that I wanted to go out and stand in the street and start preaching. Because it may come time I may have to. That maybe it wasn't that I was on a different path. It just maybe what I wanted to do at that moment wasn't right. He had a different path for me, but it will lead up to that point because I'm getting that calling. I worry about a lot of people. There's a lot of good people out there. They just need to wake up. Because these cryptid, paranormal, people forget that we were created, if you believe in this, that I believe we were created by a supernatural being who created us in his image. That makes this world and everything around it supernatural, paranormal. And the veil is lifting. And you notice you see more and more accounts, especially in places that have, like in South America and Mexico, where superstition and belief and religious is a big deal. You're really seeing the veil open up there. I mean, their paranormal videos are way more fluent over there and in other countries than they are here. It shows you how closed off we come. Yeah, we bump into stuff. But then again, we commercialize everything. We've been tainted with the fact that there's so many fakes. We don't know what, an average person don't know what they're seeing is real or not. Yes, love is the answer. Unconditional love is a better answer. But there's only one true person that holds the highest most of unconditional love. And we know who that is. That would be treat each other the way we. Yeah, well, this is a conversation. That's why I probably only have 4 people in here, is because they've come. I've seen people coming and going. Hey, I love everybody that comes in here. I'm open-minded. Listen. Yeah, I have my informed opinions. No, I don't see everything eye to eye with Gemma, but that's what makes it good. Because I know she doesn't see eye to eye with everything I see either. So, and that's, like I said, that's what makes it good. It's what makes this world go around. But yeah, I thought about sitting down because I wanna show Gemma this Hat Man that I've now seen twice in my life. So I think I'm gonna try to mustered up the courage because it's literally happened to muster. This thing freaks me out. Not much freaks me out. This and that demon did. And I think I'm going to try to sketch it and show it to her in Tuesday chat. I'm not going to do it over Oracle, so I'm going to save it for Tuesday and surprise her with it. I'll probably get rid of it as soon as after I show everybody because doing that stuff, it made me nervous keeping it. I had all these drawings of all these things that I see, and for some reason, something told me to get rid of them, that I was feeding them. That was just by having the pictures and the stories. Now, I still have a lot of stories, but they're mostly from other people, and they're not as detailed as my stuff was. I honestly, in my heart, something was telling me, hey, you're giving these things power, you're giving them life by holding on to this stuff. So I got rid of it. I got rid of quite a bit of it. There's a few things I kept. I kept the angel that I drew. I don't know if I'd call her the lady in the light, only because that I drew that right after I woke up. I mean, it was like instinct. Draw it. And I drew it. We don't listen to another problem. We don't listen to each other. And it's a problem right here. This is the problem. The Black Mirror. People put this thing down. You know, China's way worse than us on this thing. And I'm going to tell you right now, they've been at it a lot longer than we have. Years before we started looking like this all everywhere we go. It's been like that in China. It seems like everything that happens in China comes here. That's the problem. People are just turned off of reality and turned into the social space of the internet. You know, who wants to deal with the person standing next to you when you can just look down and deal with those people? Oh, they do everything. You know, they listen to you even when you think they're off. They track you. It's basically now that everybody has one, the government can find you anywhere you want. If they really want to, they can find you. That's why you always see them throwing away in the movie. Probably the truth. You don't want to bother you anymore? Throw that thing away and go to a regular phone. I mean, like I told people, I wouldn't own this if it wasn't for the fact of my health and because I do all the driving around here. And you can't find a pay booth anymore. I never had a problem looking for a pay booth, pay phone, but good luck now. So it's almost a necessity now. They made it a necessity to carry it because they did. As soon as cell phones got big, phone booths disappeared. Yeah, they're talking on the phone. Yeah, they're just on the phone, cell phone. Oh, so many accidents they've caused. And I'm not even complaining about that. I'm just complaining that people have just become so. And no, I'm not saying everybody because there are people out there that. Now, see, I don't make this. I get on it once in a while with Facebook here if I'm sitting somewhere or bored. But most of that, when I'm home, it sits right where here beside me. I turn it up in case it rings so I can hear it most of the time. The only time I take it anywhere is when I leave. I come home and set it right back there again. You know, other than texting people or checking in with people, that's all it's used for. And like I said, Facebook once in a while. I don't even watch YouTube on it. I tried watching YouTube when I was on my way home from Gemma's that one time from Paranormal, while she was streaming without me. I couldn't get a decent signal, so I basically tried to say hi to everybody and I left. I had no choice. Hang up and drive sign on your Jeep. I don't think it'll do much good. It's pretty sad when you see officers do it too, because I've seen officers sitting at the light talking on the phone. And it's supposed to be illegal. In Ohio, you can't be on your phone or texting. It has to be for hands free. I see people doing it. Nobody gets. But then again, you're lucky to see if anybody get us. The only time you see it get a speeding ticket in here is if they're going 90 and the cop actually catches them. I love but I watch movies, play games, listen to music, everything. I have my PC, so I even though I'm not on this, I'm on this. Now I do have a TV here beside me that's also hooked to the computer, so sometimes I'll have two screens going, or I won't have this on. I'll have it on the TV, and I'll be doing work on here. I've been trying to limit my time on here too, on the PC. But I do so much, I take care of bills on here. I schedule doctor appointments for all of us on here. It's like some days it's like I don't get to walk away from it. But then again, I'm always clean too, so it's nice. I can't believe it's 4 of us and only 2 of us are talking. Cindy must have got busy. Now, have you been having any more? Now, you're getting all worked up there. Is your blood pressure okay, hadn't it? I was going to ask you how you've been. You said you've been feeling pretty good. I need water. Yeah, I got mine. Now that I put my stuff on, I don't itch as bad now. Clear water. What time we got? It's just us 2 talking anyways. Though I appreciate the other 2 people watching. Well, one of them's me, so yeah, other 2 people. Love the fact you're hanging around unless you got me on your browser, but thank you. My back woke up. Now we'll take it till 2 and I'll stop. Couldn't walk. A lot of pain. Oh. I tell Dad, I laugh. I'll go get out of a chair if I. Now, see, a lot of times, the longest time I sit is here with you guys when I'm streaming. BP is high. Settle down. Settle down. Calm yourself. Breathe. You need to take up Tai Chi. I'm sure you meditate and all that stuff, but Tai Chi would be awesome for you. It really would. And then I'm sure you can find some place close. Teach it. Heck, you might even find a recreational center that has somebody that does it. It would help you a lot. I honestly feel that way. It would probably help you a lot. And that's what calms me. If it wasn't for the martial arts that I've learned over the years and got to the point where I can make it my own, I'd probably have been in a hospital. I'd probably have been in a wacky place by now. No, it would do you a wonderful world of good and help bring your blood pressure down. Also, I don't know if you know this, but my dad's has been a little high. When we were at the doctor, he gets up vitamin B shots now on Fridays. Every Friday at 11 o'clock, we go and get him a vitamin B shot. And she told me to start, getting the beet chews, beets that they have, the beet red chews, which is beets. And she said that would help his blood pressure quite a bit. That's also something to think about. Yeah, him being 90 years old, they won't do surgery because he could probably use it on his shoulder and on his knee, but they won't do it. Heck, they would get. He has a bad toe, and they're even giving him a fit about, can't you just numb the toe and cut the toenail out? Oh, you're a diabetic and you're 9 years old. We can't take that chance. My dad's like, just do it. I'll be fine. Yeah, beetroot juice. Beetroot juice is really, yeah. That's what they told him to use. They have those gummies now. She said, make sure you get the real ones. So I'm eyeing those for him and me. But my blood pressure's always been good. You guys hard. I know you guys hear me breathing and stuff, but I go to the doctor's office and he's like, you have the heart rate of a jogger. I go, that's because I rock all the time, dude. I'm in motion all the time. Because you blow, my family doctor, I blow his mind. It's like, how can somebody who doesn't sleep, but you have heart rate of a jogger, you huff and puff, but yet you're nonstop. Heck, we pulled you out of the door a few times, and it's like it never happened to you. Yeah, I've been told all that for years. Nobody listens. I listen. Question is, do you listen to me? But seriously, You should really, next time you see somebody out doing Tai Chi, seriously, go talk to them and see if they'll teach you and you can do it with them. I'm telling you, it would make a big difference. You're laughing at me now. You're listening to me. I'll listen to you if you listen to me. My dad says it. I got mad at my son the other day. Why are you asking my opinion when you don't listen to me in the first place? Or you criticize it? Why should I give you an opinion if you're going to criticize it? It's an opinion. Now, when I smack you in her head and tell you this is fact, that's different. Well, we're holding up the world here, Edna. You know that, don't you? I'm just glad that people came in. I'm not worried about it. Just an off night, I hope. But I have like I said, I have my theories. And they're probably right. The people don't understand, even the people to watch, even though I don't act like I don't know who the people are, I do. I'll just turn on my app. Now, did earlier, I knew who everybody was that was in here. I saw you pop in. I have an app that can literally tell me who not only talking in chat, because we can see who's talking in chat, but this app actually shows who's all watching the stream. Now, when I looked earlier, I had not showing up on the counter, but I had 3 anonymous and a couple of numbers. That usually means either they're not logged in to YouTube, and the anonymous ones means it's probably Google who's not logged in, and the ones with just numbers is usually somebody using a different browser that's not logged into YouTube. But I don't like doozing it too much because then I feel nosy, because that's the reason you ghost. But when it's this little, you kind of wonder. Because I'm a private person. I don't want to be sticking my nose in. Who wants to ghost me or not? But therefore, I had to have the app because I had a couple of people giving me a hard time. I wanted to make sure they weren't sneaking in here and then criticizing me later. I wouldn't do that to them. I don't appreciate you doing it to me. Let's put it that way. I give you the same respect you give me. A lot of times I give out more respect than I give back. But I'm good with that. I'm watching. I'm having a flickering problem on my one screen here, and I don't know why. It's doing weird stuff. It gets like a checkerboard. That's my YouTube screen. I'm like, what the heck's going on there? I'm telling you, ever since the sun's been active, I've been having some more internet problems. I even had problems. See, in my room, I have an antenna. I don't have cable. So my TV's an antenna TV. I enjoy it. I get a lot of old shows. I get the old stuff but also a lot of these now digital antenna channels are showing, stuff that was now a year or two old on other channels on cable. They're starting to show on there. So it's like I'm also getting to watch shows that I may have missed. You get a good antenna, you can actually pick up quite a bit. I believe we just had a full wolf moon. Yes, we did. And I couldn't see jack crap because it's been cloudy as crap. And I really hope that when I am right in the path of this year's lunar eclipse, and I can't wait because at the same time as the lunar eclipse is happening, we have a huge meteor that's going to be passing by the sun, and we should be able to see it at the same time. It will be an interesting prophetic moment. Yeah, it's cloudy everywhere. I was just looking at the map. I mean, pretty much the whole country's covered in clouds. There's a few open spots, but pretty much everybody's covered in clouds. It should clear out the next couple of days for a lot of people. Give us a little peace. I guess this front, once this front that's coming through, because you're liable to see snow. Yeah, I have a telescope that's right over here. It's not a fancy one. I do use it. No, I have a telescope. But you should be able to see it with the naked eye, too. It'll be pretty bright, especially once the sun goes full apocalypse. Full dark. Once the lunar eclipse, however you call it. Always screw them up. I'm in one of those moods now. But I'm right in the path. I am right in the direct path. What's weird is if you look at the last partial one we just had and this one, they cross paths. And a lot of people are saying some certain things. You have to go look at it. I'm not going to get into it here, but there's a lot of interesting comments about these last two events in the sky. Plus, now we're going to have a meteorite with it on this one, and this is a big one. And a lot of people are looking at a lot of the prophecies that ride along with all this. So if you don't know, go look. But yeah, it should be a really good one this year. As long as we get sun, I'll be, with my luck, it'll be like cloudy. Yes, we have. Yes, we have. All part of prophecy. Once again, you start going looking at all the prophecies, not just specific ones. All tie into everything that's been going on. And if it's not been fulfilled yet, it's being set up to be fulfilled. We don't know how long all of this will take, but it's definitely, some of it has ramped up. And sometimes I think the evil's doing that. But that's my opinion. What time we got here, Edna? I'm going to go ahead and call it. Please get some rest, my dear. Thank you for hanging with me since you're the only one. I know Cindy was busy, so I won't give her a hard time. I don't know if I upset Raymond. He said, yeah. I know he was talking about where he lived in Arkansas. I think that's cool. So I hope he does good tonight and has an awesome night. We kind of lost tabs there when sometimes I kind of lose my marker when we're watching the video. Yeah, almost 2. Yeah, they planted by it. Relative the same way. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Everybody who is here, have a wonderful night. Anybody that watches replay, have a wonderful day. Thanks for hanging. Dear Edna, thanks for keeping me company tonight. Sydney, if you come back, we're gone. Much love, honey. Hope everything's good. Thank you for the memes. We love them. Keep them coming. Especially for Gemma and Little Man. I'm good. Pop likes them. But I do enjoy them. Edna, you have a wonderful night. AK Willie. I'm getting ready to sign off, bud. It's just me and you and her now, Edna. I'm just going to go ahead and sign off. You have a great weekend too, AK. Enjoy whatever you're making, if you're making anything. Please have a wonderful weekend, sir. And be safe. A lot of craziness out there. Edna, again, thank you. AK, thank you for popping in and telling me to have a great weekend. You do the same. And you're cooking brats. Actually, that sounds good. I had an open face pizza today. Dad had a Reuben and my son had chicken Alfredo. We ate out today. Yes, everybody have a great day. Tomorrow, 7:15, for those who watch the replay. Gemma is streaming Oracles tomorrow night, 7:15, right here. Please come at ET time, Eastern time. Sunday's a free day. I believe she'll have 2 videos coming out. She'll let us know about those tomorrow. Of course, the 11 o'clock premiere, and then hopefully her noon She says it's members only, but the noon premiere is open to everybody. So please feel free to come in and watch. I think she leaves it open for like 24 hours. Then she makes it members only. So come and join us there. And then Tuesday talk. I'm going to do it, wait and do it Sunday because that's my day. And I feel secure on Sundays for a number of reasons. So I'm going to attempt to draw a picture of what I saw when I see the Hat Man and show that Tuesday. It takes a lot because I was going to do it the other day. It's just like, but I get tense about it. So hopefully you got to look forward to that Tuesday. Have a wonderful Sunday. Because you used to doing this Saturday. Have a great Saturday. See you Saturday night with Gemma. And we'll talk to you tomorrow night. See, I'm so used to doing this Saturday nights. I say that throws people off too. See, that's another thing. But Gemma can only get what she can get, because running back and forth moms. So I'm sure next Friday will be on Friday. So tomorrow, Oracles. And I'm all screwed up now because I am used to doing this. I kept thinking this was Saturday. Everybody, I'll see you tomorrow night on Oracles. Have a wonderful Saturday. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Much love to you, Edna. AK, you have a wonderful night. Edna, you have a wonderful night. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for those who were just sitting around watching me. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Actually, that's a good video. It's short, but it's a good one. Next week will be another Fae one. Much love, folks. Good night.